Greetings Groaners, and welcome along to episode 74. Unveiling more groany madness, let's kick it straight off and direct into it with my groans. Over seasoning. Why do people obsess over putting a crap load of salt, pepper or chili in things? I like to taste the natural flavour of food, not have it masked in crap that I didn't ask for. Prices rising, packets shrinking. It is really crafty of companies to shrink packets and boxes of foods and the shops to crank the prices up. Why do we all need to get duped into paying more for less? Like a packet of hula hoops that says, oh, 30% more. You open the bag and you're like, you mean 30% more air in there? How about you give us actually 30% more of the crisps, not just the oxygen in the bag? And constant TV complainers. Why in the hell do these idiots who watch TV constantly complain about something that disgusted them or annoyed them in a TV show? Bit of a hypocrite here because I am Mystery Groaner. For cripe's sake, just don't watch the programme instead of getting your underwear tied up. Tune in, you don't like it then tune out, and don't watch again. It is that simple. But then again, that would mean Ofcom aren't really necessary. But never mind, I digress. Well, let's punt those groans into orbit and swiftly move on to our next section. Which, are you ready, groaners? I hope you are. Let's play the 5-point countdown. If anybody's new, the 5-point countdown goes like this. Clue number 5, you start with 5 points. A little bit of clue number 1, you have 1 point left. If you guess correctly, I'd say I'm at 5. Great, you have 5 points. If you then change and put in a wrong answer at 4, then I'm sorry, you then go back to 0. You then have to change your answer again further down the line to have 3, 2, or 1 points. See how it works? That's it. Here we go. Clue number 5 for 5 points. I bring joy to both children and adults as a good read. I'll give you a clue here, Groaners, as well. It isn't a book. Anybody thinking out there that's played along live? If you're thinking, hit your answers in now. If you're not sure, go on to the next answer. If you're having to think now and you're listening after the recording, pause, have a think, put your answer in, and then unpause and let the fun begin again. No one's typing. I think I've stumped the audience this week. Oh, someone's put new paper. Well, it's a good guess. A good guess. Any more? Okay, Groaners. Moving on. Clue number 4 for 4 points. I bring you many superheroes and villains in my well-known brand, such as Batman and the Joker. Give it again. Clue number 4 worth 4 points. I bring you many superheroes and villains in my well-known brand, such as Batman and the Joker. Someone's put comic. Good guess. Good guess. Any more? Any more Groaners that are playing along live? He pause again, Groaners. Answer unpause. Comics popped up again. Okay. Moving on. Clue number 3. I am written by many illustrators and writers. Clue number 3 for 3 points. I am written by many illustrators and writers. Everyone's thinking. If you're thinking at home, pause, answer, unpause. No more coming up there? Okay, I guess they're happy with their answers there. Moving on. Clue number 2 for 2 points. I've been rebooted many times across many stories. Clue number 2 for 2 points. I've been rebooted many times across many stories. I think they're still thinking. Some are. Some may be happy with comic. Okay. If you're happy with your answer, Groaner, next clue's coming up. If you're not, pause, answer, unpause. And lastly, clue number 1 for 1 point. Some of my heroes have been made into TV shows and movies. Clue one more time for 1 point. Some of my heroes have been made into TV shows and movies. Everyone's thinking again? Maybe. Pause, answer, unpause, those groaners playing along at home. And we are done. Luck may smile on you there, groaners, if you've got points, that is. But I'll tell you later if you have. But now we're going to move over to Oh Unlucky! If you are squeamish, by the way, please skip this one. This week's Oh Unlucky goes out to the poor sod who for some reason was in a hurry to be the first to get off of a ferry in Brazil. If he just waited for the ferry to dock instead of jumping off, he wouldn't have had the unlucky misfortune of getting his leg crushed between the land ramp and the ferry. Word around the campfire is he had to have his leg amputated. Always play it safe, groaners. You don't have to be first getting off of anywhere. Take your time. But let's creepy it up now with Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. Your story this week is called Together Forever. Going down memory lane never worked out well for Marianne. Everything before getting to the town was a horrifying, traumatic mess. The old man took her in and helped her back on her feet until she could look after herself. He knew what she'd been through, and some nights or even days he would stand near her house and watch, ready to deal with anyone that dared to cause her any more pain. No one cared more about the town than the old man did. It was his second chance at life after all. The entire town was his purpose, and that extended to everyone in it. He always thought he would spend eternity protecting the good and punishing the bad, with the powers darkness bestowed upon him. There were few exceptions, however, like Marianne and Valencia, that he felt such a strong connection with, and knew he had to protect them however he could. In a way, it reminded him of his own son, and the connection they had that was short-lived. "I'll be okay. I owe you so much after all, old man. Why don't you tell me what happened?" Marianne asked. The old man told about the last meeting he had with the mayor, and the sudden feeling of dread he had afterwards. He also told her about his nightmares, and that he had to leave for a few days. Something that had never been an issue for him before, since he always used to leave on his excursions and trusted the shop to be protected in his absence. Marianne knew something was wrong. She hadn't seen Ivy in a few weeks either. She was always to be found in the park. The mayor's daughter, Ivy, used to be able to wander around town as she pleased. She was only 4 years old, and yet Marianne always thought it was suspicious just how advanced she was for someone of her age. This went even beyond the possibility of being a natural-born genius. The old man agreed, but knew he could never say anything. "I never would have come to you if I had any other choice, you know," the old man said. Marianne smiled and reassured him. If she can repay him for all he's done for her, then she would gladly give up everything to do so. He explained that he needed to grant her wish because she was the only one who could take him to the realm of nightmares. Even after everything she suffered through, Marianne's only wish was to keep children safe, to make sure no one ever had to live like she did. The old man could grant her wish and have what he needed through the rocking horse, but he still felt terrible for asking her. She was glad, however, to finally have the power to help and stand by his side. She didn't care what she had to become for that. "If you give the rocking horse a drop of your blood, for thinking of your wish, it will transform your soul. Its eyes will turn red to reflect your blood, and it will be rocking all by itself for as long as you're alive," the old man explained. Marianne could protect as many people and children in town as she wanted, but only while she slept. Her soul would leave her body and transform into a nightmare. That would allow Marianne to protect others in their dreams. However, her powers would be limited. If the one dreaming didn't believe in her nightmare form, then she would be powerless. She'd have to work hard while she was awake to get people to believe as much as possible. Only then would she have the power to protect them at night. This would also make Marianne qualify as a nightmare needed to take the old man and Valencia to the realm of nightmares. Sounds like a lot to remember, but you can count on me. I'll find a way to keep my body safe before I fall asleep, and I'll protect the town too. I'm not the only life you saved after all, Marianne said, smiling. She looked over at the rocking horse and knew something was missing. She grabbed her paints and painted a lily on the back of it, so that just maybe she would hail her beloved horse Moonlily with her one more time. Her mother told her that the horse was born under the moonlight of a full moon, and on their first adventure, Marianne ran into a field of lilies. That's how she named him. Now hopefully, with painting a lily, she could meet her beloved horse just one last time. As she knelt down and looked at the rocking horse, she pricked her finger with a pin and touched it. The rocking horse was activated with its blood-filled eyes and turned black. The lily Marianne painted turned into a field of lilies under a full moon, shining over them. It was just the sign Marianne wanted. At that moment she couldn't be happier that she burst into tears. It may not have been her horse, but she got to feel that connection again one last time in that moment, and it was enough. She knew they would now be together forever. She herself felt no different, but the piece of her soul that was taken sat there in a jar in front of the old man. She looked at it and smiled. Now it was time to put an end to nightmares. Nicole, I can only imagine where your universe gets to from here. I've said it before, Groaners, I love Admin Nicole's stories. Nice work. Nice work. More to come next week. But now, we must ask once again, why oh why? Kit Kat cereal thieves. Why oh why has Nestle released a Kit Kat cereal which no one bloody well asked for, or buys, as far as I'm concerned? Someone must flip and love it, as whenever I pass the boxes in the shop in my local area, in the non-breakfast aisle, I might add, they're always open. I'm not just talking the boxes, I mean the packets inside the box. I've just got to ask, why oh why? And now, gaming it up, we hit game number 2, where we have another couple of rounds of Double Down Dummies. Now just to reiterate, that some of the stories in this section from the past, present and future going forward involve death or near misses. Okay, so not everyone has died at the end of the story, okay? And none of it is to poke fun at the deceased, okay? Round 1. A woman made a fake bomb and proceeded to walk around an airport in Massachusetts on 21st of September 2007. She claimed it was performance art. She was later apprehended, but how did she nearly die? Was it option A, she had mixed what she thought were harmless chemicals, which gave her burns to her chest when the bomb exploded by accident, as it was supposed to be a fake? She was later arrested after being treated in hospital. Option B, she was beaten up by holiday makers who didn't take too kindly to the art piece. She was only saved when airport security and police separated everyone. She was then arrested before they killed her. Option C, the police pointed their very real and non-RC guns at her. Nearly getting shot in the process, she promptly surrendered and was taken away after being arrested. Go, Groaners, give me your answer. You play along at home, here's where you press pause, Groaner. Your answer, you unpause. Ooh, we have bees flying in there. Any more? Any more Groaners? Okay. Ooh, C as well. We've got B's and C's coming in. There we go. We've had a split. Okay. All answers in. Anybody else? Nope. Time for round number 2. This one occurred on the 19th of December 1999 in New York. A couple were driving along the I-88 highway at around 65 miles an hour in the midst of a full-blown argument. The argument heated up, but how did this lead to the male's death? Was it option A, in an effort to get away from her, he opened the door and jumped out? Not being a trained stuntman, his head bounced off the road at full speed. He died of head trauma. Option B, For reasons unknown, he climbed out of the passenger window and up onto the roof. During his yells and protests, he was blown off the roof. He landed on the ground but suffered head trauma and passed away in hospital the next day. Or option C, he whipped his seatbelt off and proceeded to scream at her. Screaming back, she put the brakes on and he went face first through the window onto the hood of the car, and then she ran him over when he fell off. He died of multiple injuries. Go Groaners, what you got? At home, pause, answer, unpause. Ooh, C's coming in. Any more Groaners? Oh, they're thinking and they're typing. Come on Groaners, what do you have for me? What you got? I think a few people can't make their minds up. Ooh, that's more C's coming in. Okay, we've got a nice big helping of C's on the last round of Double Down Dummies. Okay, if you think you scored points, Groaners, all will be known later during the show. We're at that point now, Groaners, where you get a turn up to your turn this week. I'm going to do that bit again. We're at the point now, Groaners, where you get your turn this week. Yup, it's audience groan time. This one comes in from my own personal WhatsApp from our very own Admin Nicole. And she groans, "Humans would be my biggest groan. A messed up species that enjoys the torment of others just a little bit too much." Nicole, we are like space measles. It's no wonder aliens and other planets want sorrow to do with us. Good groan. I should mention, WhatsApp will be available later in the year, Groaners, if that I remember to get a non-contract pay-as-you-go phone, because the other one, of course, is dead. But if you'd like to groan in, you can drop feedback, nominate a hero or zero of the week, or tell us your why or whys or oh unluckies. You can do so in a plethora of ways. You can plop us an email to thegroanzonepod@gmail.com. You can hit myself, that's Mystery Groaner, or Admin Nicole, Nicole Amos, on our personal Facebook messengers. You can hit up the comments section on any episode, because I'll be looking over the comments. If anyone's posted, I'll then take your groan or whatever and get it ready for an episode in the future. You can also join the Groan Zone Podcast Facebook group or the Discord group. We look forward to hearing from you, Groaners. But let's all rally together now and put this week's idiot on full blast with Zero of the Week. And I will confess, I was a little bit angry with this one, so do pardon my non-polite language. I didn't swear, but yeah. So this happened on Thursday just gone, and I just had to get this down, Groaners. I had to write it down. This one goes out to the absolute jebend who drove his scooter through a red light, nearly knocking me over. It wasn't a red light for me, I was crossing over on the green, man. Mate, I suggest you take a test again, or climb back up into the womb, because you yourself are flippin' useless. Total lack of care for others' safety. You, my diabolic brain, are a Zero of the Week. Congratulations. And now, just before we hit the game answers, it's time once again that we play Anagram Anxiety, our other weekly game. Shipshape book is your anagram this week. I'll say that again. Shipshape book. Okay? Shipshape book. That is your anagram. For all I know, that could be the answer. Ah! Admin Nicole just flicked my ear. No, it isn't the answer. Your clue basically is, it is a fear. Good luck to us all, Groaners, especially me, because I'm useless with anagrams. Get to know your point situation, Groaners. I'll reveal all now with the game answers. Starting off, we have last week's What the Hell Am I? I was perhaps a little bit unfair with this one, but it is the Earth-a-Man statue, which was the oldest known statue of a human being, dating back to 9000 BC. I'll try to make future What the Hells a little bit easier, but some people were saying, oh, they're too easy, so maybe I went the other end of the scale this time. Double Down Dummies answers now. We'll do a story recap and go from there. Round 1. A woman made a fake bomb and proceeded to walk around an airport in Massachusetts on 21st of September 2007. She claimed it was performance art. She was later apprehended, but how did she nearly die? It was option C. The police pointed their very real, non-artsy guns at her. Nearly getting shot in the process, she promptly surrendered and was taken away after being arrested. By the way, the fake bomb had no chemicals in it at all. It was made of Play-Doh and light-up circuitry. To do this in this day and age is not a good idea. Not recommended. Round 2. 19th of December 1999, New York. A couple were driving along the I-88 highway at around 65 miles an hour in the midst of a full-blown argument. The argument heated up, but how did this lead to the male's death? It was option B. For reasons unknown, he climbed out of the passenger window and up onto the roof. During his yells and protests, he was blown off the roof. He landed on the ground, but suffered head trauma and passed away in hospital the next day. I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish doing this, apart from getting himself onto the Darwin Award list. Moving over to the 5-pound countdown now. Your answer was DC Comics. However, some people did put comic down, so yep, when you listen, note where you answered, and that's how many points you get. Well done if you scored any points in any of the games, and good luck for Anagram Anxiety once more. You'll get the answer for that one next week. We'll see you next week, Groaners. Don't forget to have a Groanathon from episode 1 to 74. Tune in next week, where episode 75 will be the Easter special. I'll still be writing the games, but Admin Nicole has had the duty of writing out the rest of the episode, so God help me. Take care, Groaners. See you next week. Bye-bye.